There we go. Yeah, so just a little reminder, just a little bit of a call to action if you have not realized this or thought about this before. But a lot of what you're doing all the time is just kind of autopilot, cerebral, neural adaptation. Like every time you take a step to walk, you're not manually thinking, okay, I got to keep my balance and I got to walk right leg and left leg and right leg and left leg, and okay, I got to breathe manually, and all right, when was the last time I blinked? All that shit just happens. You're wired to just be and to just do. Whereas dieting, being consistent with your training, doing cardio, probably more so than anything, just the fact that on an instinctual level it's kind of uncomfortable, you gotta kind of lock in, man. You gotta be able to handle that. If I was purely to act off of instinct, well, then my first instinct right now would be, all right, I'm feeling kind of hungry. Okay, if I take this little piece of plastic and I go and drive the car to a Cane's drive-thru and I give the guy this piece of plastic, he will give me a Caniac combo in exchange, and then I can park in the parking lot and eat the whole thing, and I'll feel really good, and then I'll take a nap. All right. Instinctually, I could see that being a move, but that doesn't line up with my real conscious goals which are at like a higher level of superiority in terms of importance. So I'm going to shut down that instinctual instinct. I'm going to shut down that urge to not do my cardio. I'm going to shut down that urge to, really, those are the only kind of hard parts right now. And the cardio I've already got down. Like the only time I skip cardio per se isn't necessarily skipping. It's if I feel like I'm kind of, starting to overdo it. Like yesterday was technically half a rest day, because instead of doing an hour of cardio after the morning training session and an hour of cardio at night, I only did that hour in the morning. So I skipped that second hour and went to bed a little bit earlier. But never just because I'm like, I don't feel like it. That's a very different logic. But yeah, really just that, and then not grubbing. That's really the hardest part. The training is actually a little bit lower stakes. All I got to do is come in, get a pump. I like doing that anyway. I'm not getting a pump so I don't even lift to compete. Like I lift because I like lifting. So that's not a challenge either. So the really biggest difficulty is just the freaking food side of things. And I can pretty well mitigate that with like substantially evenly spread out meals. I had some ground beef with some red hot buffalo last night, which was a combo I have not had for a little while, and I think I'm definitely going to have going into later today, which, a little bit of a spoiler alert, but today's going to be a video pump out day. So going to record a Q&A later, full day of eating, grocery trip because I got to get some more food before I fly out to the UK. So those will kind of funnel out over the next couple of days. But yeah, I can spoil at least one meal. It's probably going to be just like a freaking, if not a half pound, maybe a pound of ground beef, some minced tomatoes, probably chop up an onion in there as well, and then a crap ton of buffalo sauce, maybe throw in some squished rice cakes. That would hit the spot. That would hit the freaking spot. But I'm doing a fasted training session, partially because it's just going to make it easier for me to eat less over the course of the rest of today. So I'm going to go lift, head home, eat meal number one, then do my post-lift cardio, just so I have, something in my stomach. Then just kind of spread it out, because if I have a big ass meal, I'm only working with like 2,500 calories. So if I eat 1,000 calorie breakfast at, let's say I had 1,000 calorie meal pre-workout at 9 o'clock. That's 40% of my calories gone for the day. So now, 10 o'clock, or whenever I get back from training until I go to sleep at night, now I'm only working with 1,500, and 1,500, that's not a lot. 1500 is like I mean, if I were to just eat to my satisfaction, 1500 calories is like, all right, that was a decently sized meal. Okay, let's move on. Maybe I'll eat it. Maybe I'll snack on something else. You know, like 1500 disappears, especially when you're a lean 230 pounder. Even more so when I'm a bulked up 260 pounder. You know, like it doesn't really stretch that far. So I've got to be pretty specific. So again, since the lift is a bit more just pump activating focused, I don't need to try to carb load beforehand and like, you know, leverage my pre-workout glycogen levels or anything. I don't mind a fasted lift in a dieting sense. Maybe not a fasted leg day, but a fasted arm day, you're gonna be all right. But yeah, so that'll be the plan for the rest of today. But that's pretty much all I got. So I know it's gonna be dead in here. So the only thing stopping me from getting a pump, there's nothing. There's nothing stopping me from getting this arm pump, so we are fucking good. So I'm gonna get in there, get warmed up, and then we can cut to whatever that first set ends up being. I think, what do I think? I think I might do some twofers today. So I think today's gonna be 2 sets of curls, 2 sets of triceps. 2 sets of curls, 2 sets of triceps. Repeat until pumped. So that might put me at like the 6 set range for bis and tris total. And around 6 has kind of been my dieting average. By the time I've done 6 solid squeezing sets, especially lower calorie plus all the cardio, I get the sensation of, okay, I'm about as pumped as I can get. And to do any more work, or to do any more working sets rather, wouldn't really add to that, you know? Like I'm trying to start a fire here. I don't need to squirt out the entire bottle of lighter fluid to get it going. Once it's lit, it's lit. You know, there's no need for more if you kind of catch how I'm kind of trying to describe that. But yeah, nothing else to say, so let's just get in there and get freaking started. All right, bis, then tris. So 2 sets of dumbbell curls to start. I think will be pretty much fucking perfect. And then I already know what triceps is going to be, kind of this underhand single arm type deal. We'll see. But something about today. I can tell this is going to be a wild fucking pose down. But let's make it happen with the 40s. And these sets aren't insane, but you know, I want it to be pumpish. All right. Yeah. Okay. Whew. One more of those. One more of those. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get some single arm tricep extensions going and keep this lift moving. Instead of an overhand single arm extension, you know, as you would a regular push down bar, this is more of an underhand kind of deal. And it just feels a little different. In terms of like tricep activation, it's honestly not a bad one, because like sometimes with a regular just overhand press, you can get your chest involved, or you know, but underhand, There's nothing that's going to help move the weight except for your tricep fucking flexing. But this is going to be more of a pumper set. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Go from there. And go one notch higher. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. One more of those. No, no. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do a preacher now. That'll be good next. Heavy, but not too heavy. I mean, shit, what am I at? 120. Yeah, I know in like 6 months, not even 6 months, in just a few months, I'm gonna be stacking this movement. That'll be cool later. But for now, let's just keep it chill. 120. I kind of have the cable a little closer to the preacher bench than further. So at the bottom, all of the weight is just kind of hanging, like it's pulling just away from my biceps. It's not pulling them like back. So it's a little bit of a break at the bottom. Either way, let's make this shit happen. Do a little sleeve roll up as a pre-pump kind of teaser. But yeah, shit, I mean, I'm feeling fucking around. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, one more of those. The full stack here, but when you use this machine as a push down, the stack is definitely stackable. All right. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. One more of those. Okay. Ooh. All right. You know what? Shit. I think I'm due for just a superset, and then that'll be the end of it. Yeah. Let's pick a combo. All right. I think just some rope extensions, and then grab the 30s and just pump out a set. And that's all I need for today. And go a little heavier. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see how we're looking. All right. I'm at 5% battery, but the camera is plugged in. I think that should balance out to still hitting a pretty solid ass pose down. So let's make sure we're right in the middle. Yeah. All right. So I knew it just this morning from waking up and seeing myself just, shower in the bathroom, just in the mirror. But I am feeling dry today in a good way. Like not dehydrated dry, but just like full and holy shit. I knew this is going to be a crazy pump. Let's talk about it after. I don't want to fucking kill the camera before we even get to the good part. But yeah, this stage look would be fucking crazy. I mean, it's already crazy right now, and honestly, I mean, this is pretty cool for me. But yeah, like planning to come to the UK full as a house. That's kind of that's the change from show to show. But oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's the fucking ticket. So let's get in the car. I'm gonna look at that clip and see how a first glimpse of today feels. But yeah, this is fucking sick for me. Especially coming off, I mean, not coming off of a low day. All my fucking days are low days right now. Nice. Very freaking nice. I'm a happy camper after that lift. All right. I don't know. Maybe I just, actually I do know. I was about to say, I don't know why things felt like they clicked today. It's because I've been overdoing it with my cardio. God damn it. I've been doing 2 hours a day. I told myself 2 hours a day was too much. And then yesterday I only did an hour session and I skipped the night hour session. And then now I wake up feeling like a baller. So I'm conflicted, right? Because I've got about, I'm 8 days out. Am I gonna benefit from an extra 30 minutes of cardio per day only for 4 more days at the cost of potentially overdoing it with the training and just kind of be a little bit more fatigued? But I don't want to back off on my cardio because that feels like a retreat in my mind. Like I do want to do more cardio. I don't know. You reach a level where you did, and not a level, but just a state of being where it's like, oh crap, only an hour and a half of cardio a day? Fuck. I don't want to be a slacker. I better still do my 2. I'm definitely aware of how kind of crazy that sounds. But that's sort of the point. You know, that's kind of the whole fucking deal. At least for this current freaking prep. But today felt awesome. It is now, and I was, sitting there on my phone for a little bit as well. But actually not a little bit, kind of a lot of bit. Yeah, I got there at 10. I'm now leaving at noon. That's about freaking right. So 12:15, and I have not eaten jack, so my calorie intake is at 0. So I am ready to get some grub. That is for sure. So meal number 1 will be meal number 1 of tomorrow's full day of eating, whatever that ends up being. I guess I don't want to spoil it. We'll see that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm definitely ready to slam something. Yeah, hot sauce will be involved today. That is for sure. But no, feeling full. Sorry for the yawning, But yeah, feeling very good. That arm day was fucking sweet. Only 5 sets. Only 5 sets of pushdowns, 5 sets of curls. But just the net, pump. And not only net pump, but even seeing how big my arms looked relative to my midsection. I woke up this morning with a really empty freaking stomach after I went to the bathroom. So that combined with a very good kind of, let's just say, level of hydration. Because, I was fully hydrated. I drank 2.5 liters of water pre-workout. 1 being just a sugar-free drink, flavor mix in the morning. Another liter for the pre-workout itself that I drank before I came to the gym, and then a little 0 something or other. I guess that's not a liter, maybe 800 milliliters, but still 3 liters of water nearly pre-lift. My electrolyte balance, however I want to describe it, is solid. Yeah, that was good. So that's what I would call a properly prepared pump. Proper preparation prevents poor pumps. I've said that a few times. I'll probably say it a few more times. So yeah, today was definitely a good example of that. Good amount of sleep. Mental focus was solid. Even though the food relatively low, because that's just kind of the point of dieting. Solid hype. My Discover Weekly on Spotify was decent for a few songs. Sometimes they kind of lose me though. And then, yeah, otherwise just feeling good. So I'm definitely excited to throw some weight around again. The feeling of being in the gym, more so like a tank rather than feeling like a sculpture, is a good feeling for me. So, now that I'm leaner, obviously I'm going to hit a side chest. Not even just doing a side chest yesterday in the pros gym. I was in a little area where there were 2 mirrors back and forth, and I could see my reflection. And just looking back at the clip, even just hitting a side chest, not even a dedicated back pose, I'm seeing striations in my lats and my traps and everything else. It's just fucking nuts, But I do not have a cup that can't be filled when it comes to my subjective enjoyment for getting leaner. I'm not going to get ahead of myself because we're in show mode right now. We're still in get lean cardio peeled mode. But, that doesn't mean I can't get excited about getting back up to that, quarter 1,000 pound range of body weight. I think my baseline at this point, in terms of fed, normal body fat, not bulking, but not cutting either, kind of just maintenance walk around weight, is probably going to be just about a 245 or a 250, maybe 245 on the leaner end, which I don't just want to slap weight onto my frame for no reason. I do want to ease into this off season, quote unquote, slowly and gradually. And I'm not just going to drop my cardio either. Maybe I'll just drop it to an hour a day instead of just instantly 30 minutes. But yeah, as excited as I am for what's coming up in just about a week's fucking time over at the Arnold UK. I'm even more excited about what lies beyond the horizon there, you know? So that's my favorite part. As much as I can lock into a crazy ass bulk, pound some food, put some body fat on, you know, not too much, but within reason. Then I just get to switch gears, peel down, then get to switch gears again, you know, back and freaking forth. And that is a good loop. That is a very good loop for me, at least. Like, I am definitely wired to enjoy it. So yeah, today's the 19th, so I'm going to be out of here. What day is today? Thursday? Yeah, so Saturday morning I am out of here. Or no, what am I saying? Saturday morning. Saturday night. So yeah, it'll be fun to get over there. Definitely gonna hit some pumps at Dino's gym. If you've ever, actually, honestly, most of the guys who watch these videos are stateside. I haven't looked at the geolocational analytics for a little while, but there's a lot of UK dudes that represent too. But you probably haven't been to Dino's gym in, I think it's Solihull, I don't know the exact pronunciation, but his ass has been around, that's for sure. You know, badass gym. I don't know how many years it's been there, easily 20, 30, and there's pictures of everybody on the wall. You know, old Ronnie Coleman's and Dorian Yates and Jay Cutler's, and you know, just name a bodybuilder, odds are he was there. And not only are all the pictures of them, most of the pictures are signed from what I remember, and Dino is in the fucking picture because he was there. And it's just a freaking, it may as well be a museum of bodybuilding, you know. So he certainly qualifies as an OG, that's for sure. So I'm excited to get back there. I'm still rocking one of the Dino's Gym's hoodies, not as much recently because I can kind of tell he starts to wear it out a little bit, but I know he's gonna hook me up. I'll come home with freaking 2 of those things. So if you're gonna be in the UK, definitely check out Dino's Gym, that's for sure. If you're going for the Arnold, I mean. So, you know, yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, in terms of overall game plan, I'm not gonna try to pull so many tricks this time. I'm not going to try to do a huge water depletion carb up. This one, I think less is going to be more. So I'll still pull my water a little bit the day before, just to, you know, dry out just a touch and make sure I do make weight. My morning weight this morning, fasted, full empty stomach, but still baseline hydrated, was 230. So if yesterday I pulled my water a little bit, I can wake up at 227. That's right at the weight cap. And then rather than trying to fill up the night, you know, before the show from a really depleted weight, I'll kind of fill up from, you know, sort of an already half full weight up at that 227. So that's really what I want. The day of check-ins, you got to do 2 things. You get on the scale. Actually, no. You get your height measured first. So they're going to clock me right at 5'11 and a half. I'm not the kind of guy to get that measurement and then walk around saying I'm 6 foot. You're literally not. I mean, even with shoes on, 5'11 and a half is close enough. You know, I don't really feel the need to stretch it. That's more of an other people kind of thing. But they're gonna height me in, and then I want to hop on that scale. And if I can get exactly 227 right on the freaking dot, maybe 226.9, that'll be solid. And then, so what's today? Thursday. So Friday's the 20th. Saturday. Okay, so Friday's the 20th. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. So I've got exactly 1 more week of what I'd call being locked in, because around I think it's about 10 o'clock or noon or so that the Arnold check-ins are going to be the day prior to the show. After that, the floodgates open. You know, I'm not just going to eat pure junk. Like, I'm not carbing up on 10 McDonald's cheeseburgers and a bunch of fries and canes or anything. I can definitely I'm going to throw a burger in the mix for sure, because as much as you're trying to carb up with just straight carbs, you do kind of want some fats and some sodium in the mix, especially if you want, I mean, you got to hydrate as well. Like, carbing up is not just inserting carbs into your system. So you get some leeway, you know, and it's kind of a weird, you know, dichotomy, because like you're so serious for this entire prep. It's like, okay, rice cakes, ground beef, ground turkey, a canned chicken with 0 sugar barbecue sauce. And then the night before the show, it's like, all right, give me 2 large fries, a single cheeseburger, and then I'm going to smack down some Skittles after I have a big bowl of oatmeal with, you know, a little bit of strawberry jelly on top. But honestly, it's kind of like a pre-show dessert in a way, or a pre-show treat. So it's like you did this whole dieting phase, or this whole prep phase, and the day before the show, I could definitely see that helping somebody get their nerves out. It's like, all right, man, you're good. Get some food in your system. You get that dopamine release just from, you know, actually satiating your sweet tooth. And it, in a way, you kind of feel like you earned it a little more, you know? Like, I've had a cheat day before where really it was only for the purpose of, dude, I just got to eat some shit today. A weak-willed, I guess that's really the only explanation. It's like, I'm eating some shit today. We're doing it. You know, not so close to the show, of course, because it actually is not functional for, you know, coming in peeled or even just in good shape. But, you know, it happens, right? But for the show, the night of Carbon Up, well, shit, man, it's not even a cheat day. That's just sort of, let's just say, par for the course. You know, I think a lot of guys also do eat a bunch of let's just put it simply, a bunch of shit, like a bunch of like fruit snacks or some gummies and some whatever. They might just not want to say it because it's a little more of a professional presentation. Only gonna eat some cream of rice, only gonna have some oatmeal, and as a treat I had some grapes, and then I went to bed and I carved up on that. It's like, all right, man, you know, I'm gonna have a couple Mike and Ikes and I'm gonna wake up feeling like a freaking freak, you know. Now that's not to say that's the way to do it or anything. It's just, that's just how I've been doing it. But yeah, nothing else to say. So I will see you tomorrow for, I don't know. Tomorrow might be a triple upload. I'll see. There will definitely be a couple doubles, and just from doing the international travel, it might get some of these videos out of whack. I know this past week has been pretty bad with the upload schedules, because it's like I'm behind a day, and then I record the lift, and then I post it on the same day, and then my Wi-Fi has been bugging out because there's this huge like windstorm this week, and it took out a bunch of power lines and stuff. But post-show plus post-travel from the show, then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled off-season lifts. So it'll just be a fucking, honestly, post-show, these are going to be the craziest pumps that I've ever had, because now I'm at my biggest and at my leanest. The first few months of the first month, probably month and a half of an off-season, I'd call it the honeymoon phase, because you're lean as shit and you get to grub, and you come into the gym full as a house, and you still look like a freak, and you got veins and grains all over the place. So that's what lies beyond the Arnold UK. One show's nice, but better to do it twice. So yeah, nothing else to say. I will freaking see you tomorrow.